I understand sexual energy, and it's something that I'm using not like to have sex, but as a healing, as part of my own.
It's life force energy.
That's right. It's like, to me, like sexual energy is just it's life. Everybody has it, and it's about using it for healing, for energy, for creativity. Yeah, I think it's an untapped resource given all of our religious, oppressive, cultural things.
Yeah, we think we need to get the church to start breathing.
We do need the church to start breathing.
We also need the government to breathe.
The government should definitely breathe. If I only speak about my own personal process, like when I first started doing this, my dad was very ill, and my life was super upside down. I was being an idiot just personally in how I took care of myself, and all of that breathing, and the work that I did at the beginning of my own practice, my own training, my own kind of coming into the life that I have now. It was so. I can look back and see that was for that moment, that time. And I had to go through all of that. It was really hard. And
it's like peeling an onion.
That's exactly it. Like, I had to go through that. But now if I fast forward myself to now, and I lay down and breathe, and something comes up, and it's so relevant to this moment in time, and I don't know if I'm answering your question right, but
I think you are. You're saying that it'll come when it's at the right time.
When it comes, everything comes when it's meant to come. It's like, we could go after we sit down here and speak for a while, and we could go do another session, and something completely different will happen. And you're entering into it from the state that you're in now, which is, you just did this whole thing this morning, and you're unwound in one way or another, and now you're going to go back in and see what's there. So I think it's different for every single person, and it's different every single time you do it. And I think it's a combination, right? It's like, someone's not going to heal something that they're only going to come in contact with the thing that's there right now. And then, how much does this person really want? Like, somewhere, consciously or not, they're choosing to look at this and heal it or not. I mean, we can even look at Angie today. It's like, oh wow, I really thought I had worked through all this stuff, and then it comes up. She's like, okay, I need to look at this some more. Yeah. It's like, wow.
I'm glad it came up for her, just because I would love her to feel whole. I mean, she's not a whole person compared to most people, but anytime we can find something that's painful trapped inside of us, if we heal it, it gives us more freedom.
Yeah.
And all that energy that it takes to maintain that repression, that walling off, is ultimately freed as creative energy when we let go of that, And an example I can give is, when I started working with plant medicines, I did a year of training with a doctor that uses them, so I could learn to use them, without getting anyone hurt. And we did a lot of deep journeys. He would do private sessions with me every week for about a year, and I would work on his body because he had some problems that I was skilled at dealing with. So I would work on him for a couple hours, and he would take me into a medicine ceremony, and this went on for, I think we did about 45 sessions together before he gave me the green light. But one of the things that came up out of the blue was my brother's suicide, and I thought I'd healed that, and this is like in my mid-40s when I started working with plant medicines. I can't remember now, 2006, and I'm 60 now. So anyhow, my brother committed suicide when I was 35, I think, and he was 34. And so I'd had all these years to go through the grief, and it was very intense. I mean, anyone that's had a family member commit suicide can understand what I'm saying. If you haven't, then it's just, you'll never be able to connect to it. Just like a man never knows what it's like to have a baby. He can intellectualize it all he wants, but until your pelvis is being split in half, you'll never get it.
Yeah.
But boy, the first time that happened to me, I cried for hours. I cried so hard, I felt like I'd been beaten up. It took, I mean, literally my muscles ached for days. I cried so much I think I dehydrated myself. And I thought, wow, I'm so glad I finally healed that. Well, the long story made short is it came up 4 more times, equally as intense.
Right.
And then I finally said, okay, I have got to be done with this. It's so painful. And I haven't had a reoccurrence, and I've done, you know, several hundred ceremonies since that time. But my point is that obviously I wasn't ready to deal with the full impact of it.
Right.
And I thought I had. And then even when I thought I had, it had roots that went even deeper.
Yeah.
And so my soul took me, and fortunately my soul gave me a break. Like, because some of these things are so intense, I literally feel like I was going to die of the pain of it.
Yeah.
And so I've worked with countless people on these kinds of issues, and I see that you don't want to, I think one of the things immature therapists do is they try to bring everything someone's got up to the surface. And I'm like, you know, you're about to open Pandora's box. And, and I've seen what happens because I'm one of the people come to after Pandora's box has been open. And I'm like, you know, that's just too much, too fast. You have to have time to process. You know, people don't realize that there's a digestive process in the psyche.
Yeah.
And every organ in our body, we have a subtle body organ that matches it. So we have to do metaphysically, we have to detox our emotions and our thoughts with our spiritual liver. We have to digest food with, we have to digest emotions and thoughts with our physical stomach, but there's a metaphysical stomach, an energetic stomach right around it. And those organs are actually there when the cell meets the egg, and that's how the body knows what cells need to become. Stem cells can become teeth, eyes. It all follows the energetic blueprint that comes in with us. And the Tibetan monks demonstrated that 900 years ago. Most people don't realize that, but they were really the first pioneers of showing that at the moment of gestation, the entire energy body with all the meridians is in place. And that's how cell mitosis knows what to do. It's following this energetic imprint. And we carry stuff in from past life experiences. And one of the names for that is miasm. So the whole point is that we all have to realize that, as you said, a breathing session or plant medicine session, or even just all of a sudden in your life, you might find yourself starting to get depressed and you don't know why. And it's because your soul's trying to bring your awareness to something that it's time for you to heal so that you can fulfill the path of becoming who you meant to be. And one of the things that I find disconcerting as all get out is that everybody throws drugs at it. You know, it's like, no, you don't want to numb that out.
Please, no, stop it.
Yeah, you've got to, you know, and so much money's being made on drugging and numbing everything. And alcohol, of course, is the chief numbing drug. And that's, you know, I've always found it interesting that they're happy to let soldiers drink all the alcohol they want, but they don't want them smoking pot or using anything that'll heal them. You know, so anyhow,
well, I think what you're talking about too, another, like the flip side of it is like, you're not in charge here in a way. It's like, meaning like your soul is on its journey that it's on. And you're only going to heal according to how you're going to heal. And to like try and push that river, there's a time to push the river and there's a time to not push the river, but ultimately, like, you have a soul. There's a guiding force here, and ultimately, from the way I see it, like, you're not in charge. Yes, you have,
because what you think of as you is really your ego. Anyhow.
That's exactly it. Yeah. And
that's just the tip of a very big iceberg.
Here we go again.
You want to give listeners an example of your breath work? And if you're driving, is it safe to do while people drive?
I'd say maybe not drive.
So
that'd be cool.
If you're listening while you're driving, that's cool. You can do it when you get home. If you're operating a power tool that might cut you or hurt you, I wouldn't do that either.
That'd be not great.
But for most of you, this is a good chance to lay on the floor. And get ready.
I mean, if you want the full effect, I would say lay down on the floor, close your eyes, just be relaxed. You can lay on a couch, on a bed or whatever. Or if you're sitting up, that's cool too. But you want to just close your eyes, and you want to obviously bring your awareness into your breath. And the breath technique is really, it's simple and it's 3-parted. So the first part is that it's focused on the inhale. The next is that it's done through the mouth and then focused in the chest. So it's like a surprise. And then once your breath is full, it just comes out. I'm going to move my microphone so I'm not.
That sounds good, though. It gives us that experience.
And then just let it go. It feels so good. You're just activating all the kundalini. You might feel a little dizzy.
Has it ever brought you to orgasm?
Oh, for sure.
Because I was going to say it's it's quite an orgasmic feeling that I was having, and it was bringing up, as I told you, lots of sex memories.
Well, I used to do this class in Lexington, Kentucky, and it was most women over 60, 65, and well into their 70s and a few in their 80s. And that was one of my favorite classes because those women at that point in their life, they just could give a shit about, they're just like, I'm free, I'm going to paint and I'm going to do classes, I'm going to travel, go to Florida, whatever they're doing. But these women, it was packed. That class was packed all the time because there was this very orgasmic experience that these women were having after years of not having those experiences. And they were coming and they were really igniting this sexual energy that for a lot of them felt like, oh, this isn't the thing that I'm doing anymore. That's for my younger days. And then they're having these full body orgasmic experiences. And for myself, like I would say the first, like, I don't know, 2 to 3 years that I did it, every single breath I did felt sexual.
Wow.
Every single one. It was like, I mean, if I look back, I think I was like, oh, wow, I was probably very repressed and had a lot of conditioning around sex, shame, all of that.
So
and
it
to
was
just healing it, just to like set all the energy free. And it's like, I understand sexual energy, and it's something that I'm using not like to have sex, but as a healing, as part of my own.
It's life force energy.
That's right. It's like, to me, like sexual energy is just it's life. Everybody has it, and it's about using it for healing, for energy, for creativity. Yeah, I think it's an untapped resource given all of our religious, oppressive cultural things.
We think we need to get the church to start breathing.
We do need the church to start breathing.
We also need the government to breathe.
The government should definitely breathe.